Chaka Khan is probably one of the most naturally talented, effortless. She has sounds that come from her throat that no other human being can reproduce.
Chaka's funky, soulful, sexy, sultry.
She's a songstress, an artist.
God gave me this voice so that I could have a wide circle of influence. Not just to hear my voice, and not just to sing to, but to serve. I grew up in Chicago on the South Side in Hyde Park. We were in high school. It was my sister, myself, and two neighborhood friends, Finesse and Nikki. And we used to compete in a lot of talent shows around. A lot of times we would compete with the emotions, funny enough. And sometimes they'd win, sometimes we'd win. It was always one of us. I grew up listening to a lot of jazz. My vocal style was more formed listening to horn players than it was to singers. My mother used to make our costumes and dress us up like little China dolls. It was really cute. It was really adorable. And when people started throwing money on the stage, you know, and yelling like Little Aretha and stuff like that to me, that's when I said, wow, let's do something different about me. I was not thinking about becoming a singer, being a singer at all. Ran away from home at 16. I started singing so I could live. I got on welfare, and I sang at, I was just like 16. I was not supposed to be in clubs, but I was singing up on Rush Street. Rufus happened to be playing the same circuit that I was playing. And a girl named Paulette Williams was their lead singer. She and I became fast friends, I would say, because on her break, she'd run over across the street and see me sing. On my break, I'd run over across the street and see her sing. At one point, she decided she's gonna quit the band and go solo. And the band asked me to join. So that's, Rufus was born. I was only 17 and I was like, okay, cool, whatever, I'll ride with this.
I was a Rufus fan, so getting to see her perform Rufus tracks, and again, it was effortless. Her voice is just something that cannot be reproduced.
All I can attribute our sound to is chemistry. We had a special chemistry from our various and sundry musical backgrounds that brought us together. I mean, it sounded like we did.
She comes out, it's that hair, you know, the full hair. It's, you know, she always has some kind of amazing, very body-hugging outfit that only she can wear. She comes out on that stage, she opens her mouth, and she just blows. And I think that's what it is. I mean, she never disappoints. People remember her with Rufus. People love that music. Even if you didn't grow up with it, you've heard it. And then, you know, I'm Every Woman, that song that everybody loves when it comes on.
There were years that I did enjoy with Rufus. A lot of the time, we had a great time together. But a lot of times, you know, like any group of people with different personalities, we were like brothers and sisters at the point, you know, at some point we were fighting a lot. I was the only girl in an all-guy band. They were very protective. I couldn't do anything. I was like the youngest and the chick. So they, like, every night before turning in, each one of them would come to my room. I don't know if they planned it that way or what, to make sure that no one was in the room and that I was there by myself and I was gonna go to bed. So some nights though I would sneak out, you know. It was like being at home. And then came a time when I just finally, I decided, you know, that I was either gonna like not sing anymore when I quit Rufus, or I was gonna like, you know, look into something else. And then Warner Brothers expressed interest. Leaving Rufus was one of the hardest things I ever did. Because of course I was used to having Bobby on one side, Tony on the other side. And three of us would play off each other. I like a band atmosphere as opposed to me being the lead singer or the focal point. I like it to feel like a band, you know, so I'm still, you know, codependent, codependent singer.
I Feel For You established her as a solo artist.
Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan.
She really was the focal point of Rufus when Rufus was out in the late 70s and early 80s. But in '84, when I Feel For You came out, it established her as like, this is me by myself. As a solo pop hit, this was the one that really established her.
I Feel For You was a double-edged sword for me. And I recently found out it happened because of the slip of a hand. Arif Martin's hand slipped, and it doubled like that. And it's a Chaka Khan is saying it once. And he said, "Oh, that's cool. We'll let it go." It's Turkish, and so I was like, "Oh God." So anyway, here's the thing. I came in one night and sang this song. I liked the song. And I came back the next night and Arif said, "I have a wonderful surprise for you, my dear." I said, "What?" He said, "Come listen." So I went in and listened, and I hear this guy repeating my name over and over again. I said, "Oh, God." I was really like, oh my God, you know? And he said, "Don't worry, my dear, it'll be a big hit." That's what he said. So I just had to just put it on the back burner and just like, and I was embarrassed for a long time about that. But it was a big hit, he was right. And then during the whole 80s, I working with Arif Martin was one of the high points of my absolute musical life.
Her music to me is just a big bowl of very thick funk. And it's just, you know, her voice matches music like very others do.
It's come from me. It could come from God. It comes from probably a whole host of things. One of which being that I am the sum part of all that I've been experienced and listened to. But that doesn't give you the ability to convey that. So, you know, I have a gift.
I mean, Chaka Khan is someone that can get up and belt out a song without a rehearsal, without a band, without, you know, she's spontaneous and she has no fear.
She'll know how she wants to Chaka-ize the song. If you know in the BET Awards, I'm Coming Out, maybe she didn't know every single word, but everybody was still very happy with her performance because she Chaka-ized Diana Ross's I'm Coming Out.
We worked on an event with the Creative Coalition for the Black Caucus, and she performed at it, and there's just nothing like it. And people, when they know Chaka's gonna perform somewhere, they just come alive.
All of us who have heard her voice over the years, and we have wondered what note is that she's singing, what key is she singing in, you just can't figure it out. We once asked Chaka, where did it come from? Chaka Khan said, it just come from God. That's all I could tell you. So ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to present the 2006 BET Lifetime Achievement Award to a woman whose voice is unparalleled. There is truly ain't nobody like Chaka Khan.
Working with her on her tribute last year on the BET Awards was great, because it's good to see her in a room full of musicians who just bow down to her. Yolanda Adams, who I think who has a phenomenal voice, really respects Chaka Khan's voice. And Prince, who, you know, Prince is that guy who like finds particular things he loves. He loves Chaka Khan. I've seen Prince in a number of opportunities, and he's always the big man in the room. And in this case, he was the big man in the room as well, because he really put together and orchestrated. The orchestration of the Chaka Khan tribute was all Prince. The moment I remember is really, because he wasn't really going to participate on I Feel For You, he was going to have Chaka do it. And Chaka looks over and says, "Oh, come on, P. Come on, you got to help me out on this. You got to help me out on this." And, you know, just the comfortability that those two artists have, and that Prince, who doesn't do anything he doesn't want to do, to his credit, was willing to come and be a part of that for Chaka Khan. Just is a testament to her legacy and what she means to people in the business.
You know, my heart's virtue is really like to help people, and that's where my like heart is kind of at, and to serve. I have a nephew named Talon who was born. He's now 10. He became autistic at about the age of 2. For 2 years, he started talking, and he was like really my best friend, and we were really, really tight. And then all of a sudden, he stopped talking. Nobody really knew, what was going on, because autism was not that widely known a disorder yet. It's really become a pandemic as well. We hold autism walks, one in Chicago and one in Los Angeles. We raise a lot of money during these things, and I give a lot of galas and stuff like that to raise money for autism. I'm also working with the Los Angeles School District. I had the kids write essays, and this one school just came out with flying colors. We're going to stick with these children, the 5th graders, by the way, until they go into college, for 6 years, until they go into college, and do all sorts of things with them. The main thing is to empower these children. It's a pilot program that we hope that maybe the school system will take on. They can do anything they want if they really want to do it. And so since we've been with the children, their grade point averages have shot up. All the kids today want to know is that somebody cares about them. Somebody gives a damn, and that they're loved. Love what you do. Don't pick something because you think it's going to make you a lot of money. There's nothing more gratifying than doing something that you absolutely love, that rings your bell. Absolutely. I'm telling you, this is what I love, and that's it, and that's all.
Chaka has remained really consistent. If you look at pictures when she first came out and people, heard about her, she had the big hair, the voluptuous body, the form-fitting costumes or wardrobe, and basically she stayed the same.
Chaka is one of those women who has learned to dress herself for who she is. She knows what works on her body, and that's part of the great thing about being an everyday diva, is you get to do what works for you.
You hear her voice when you hear Beyonce. You hear her voice when you hear Yolanda Adams in a way. You hear her influence on the vocalists that are coming up. And that's really how she stays relevant. And the great thing about some of them is they'll let you know that Chaka Khan is a reference.
She was a pioneer with rock in the rock and R&B genres, but it's that mixture of the rock and R&B. Back in the 60s and 70s when rock was really at its height, or certainly evolving, she came out with that funk and that soul, that kind of Memphis soul with Rufus, and it was a sound that I think that the public really hadn't heard before.
Chaka has shared her music, her talent, and her life with all of us, and it makes us better people for it, I think.
Chaka Khan's legacy is going to be that she is the single best female funk singer, but I think she's inarguably the #1 funk female singer of all time, right? Take a funk riff and you can't find a voice that embodies it better than Chaka Khan.
She's already survived the test of time and singing as good as ever. She's timeless.
There's so many songs that she has. I mean, people know her. Once again, I mean, I guess that's what a diva is. Their music is, you can kind of chart what you were doing in your life by the song that they had out. I mean, people remember her with Rufus. People love that music. Even if you didn't grow up with it, you've heard it.
Chaka's music tells your story.
There's a lot of artists out there that will not sing any song without rehearsing it 20 times, making sure the musical director has it in check. Chaka feels that she'll get up and do it and nail it. And she's been doing this over 40 years.
I do want good people around me, but it hasn't always been that way, okay? There was a time, when I had some bad people around me, okay? And there was a time when I had nobody around me, and I had to fix myself, I had to do some fixing. And I came out of it, it was like going through the fire. I came out of it unafraid, to be me and to just do what I'm gonna do. I used to be afraid to feel fear or to feel pain or to feel other people's pain. And those things used to affect me profoundly, to substance abuse and the whole bit. And so now I'm free of that, and I'm free and fearless, thanks to the Lord.
I look in your eyes and I see love so dangerously. You're not trusting your heart to anyone. You tell me you're gonna play it smart. Before the start, I believe that we've only just begun. When is this good enough? Say no. I need it now. I'm ready to go. A chance to be with you. I'd gladly risk it all.
When I close my eyes, what song do I think of Chaka's? 9 times out of 10, My Funny Valentine.
I'm Every Woman, that song that everybody loves when it comes on. You know, you just want to dance.
Through the fire, to the limit, to the wall. It's just so romantic.
Close my eyes, I hear Chaka doing At Midnight. It's an old Rufus song. She just lays into it. I mean, the band is funky and she just lays into it.